Have you ever wondered why, out of nowhere, ants start appearing inside your house, even when everything seems clean, organized, and there's no logical reason for it? Listen closely, because this is not a coincidence. It's a sign, a spiritual calling, a hidden message. To the unaware, ants are nothing more than annoying insects. But to the chosen, to those who feel, to those who see with the eyes of the soul, ants are messengers from the invisible world. Do you really think it's by chance that such a small, strategic, and persistent creature chooses to enter your home? In a universe where nothing is random, even the presence of an ant carries energy. In the Bible, in nature, in esoteric teachings, ants represent far more than just hard work. They symbolize preparation, strategy, divine order. And when they appear in your home, they're revealing that something is being spiritually aligned in your life. Maybe you've been feeling tired, lost, confused. And then they show up, tiny but in numbers, invisible yet determined, silent but powerful. According to ancient wisdom, when ants enter a home, it's because there's a call for spiritual restructuring. Your soul might be getting realigned with a higher purpose. God may be preparing you to receive something huge, but you're still distracted by small things. The ants appear to remind you of focus, of consistency, of the importance of building slowly, underground in secret. Because those who build in the invisible will reap in the visible. But hear this carefully. Their presence is not always just positive. Sometimes when they appear in large numbers, invading cabinets, floors, corners, it's a spiritual alert. An imbalance has been created. Someone might be draining your energy. There are spiritual doors, openings, that are being exploited by forces trying to stop you. And the ant, at that moment, is a sentinel, a signal, telling you it's time to observe, to be still, to fast, to cleanse not only the physical, but the spiritual atmosphere of your home. Have you noticed how they disappear after a sincere prayer, or after a deep moment of reconnection with the divine? It's because the message was received, the cycle was completed. You heard the call. Ancient civilizations knew this. In Egypt, Babylon, and mystical Greece, ants were seen as symbols of cosmic order. The Druids said, "When the ant marches, it's because the universe is aligning the steps of man." Now stop, take a deep breath, and reflect. Which area of your life is crying out for more discipline? Where have you been procrastinating? What are you foolishly wasting your energy on? Because the ant appears as a mirror. It shows you that small actions, done with purpose, can overcome any obstacle. It reminds you that heaven blesses those who work in silence, who plan without noise, who build even when no one is watching. You feel this, don't you? You feel that this is not just an ordinary video. You feel that this message was sent directly to you, at the exact moment, with the exact words, because you are one of the chosen, and the chosen do not receive signs in vain. Every movement of the universe around you is aligning so you can awaken, grow stronger, and step into the place that has always been rightfully yours. Do not ignore the signs any longer. Do not treat ants as simple pests. They are a living reminder of your mission, of your strength, of your strategy. It's time to act. It's time to start again. It's time to prepare for what's coming. The physical world is merely a reflection of a greater reality, one that's invisible to the eyes, but deeply felt by those who have been set apart, by those who have been marked, by those who have been chosen. And if you're watching this video, it's not by chance, because what others ignore, you notice. What others crush without a second thought, you observe with reverence. The ants, these tiny creatures, are teaching you more than many masters would ever dare to reveal. When God wants to awaken a chosen one, He doesn't shout, He doesn't make a scene, He whispers. And many times that whisper comes in the form of small signs, like ants walking through your bedroom, like a line of them crossing your altar, like a nest appearing in the corner of your kitchen. This is not about dirt. This is not random. It is a divine summons. Spiritually, the ant represents the working spirit of the universe. It moves in unity, yet never loses its identity. It follows a greater plan, but trusts its individual role. It sacrifices, hides, organizes, and it does all of this without seeking applause, without seeking recognition. Do you see the lesson? God is shaping you in the same way, teaching you to be consistent when no one is watching, training you to stand firm when everything around you collapses, forming you to build no matter how long it takes, because what's coming is so big it can't be rushed. And when you start seeing ants in your house, in specific places, pay attention. The place where they appear also carries a message. If they're in the kitchen, it's a sign your resources need protection. Maybe someone is trying to drain your blessings, siphon your abundance, interfere with your cycles of prosperity. The ant shows up as a spiritual warrior, as a guardian of provision. If they're in your bedroom, something in the emotional or spiritual realm needs purification. You might be under energetic attack while you sleep. Sabotaging thoughts may be planting doubt during the night. The ant appears to warn. It's time to shield your mind, guard your heart, and close the spiritual doors open through distraction or negative influence. If they're near sacred objects, your Bible, your crystals, your candles, the message is even deeper. You are being visited by divine signs. Your mission is about to leap forward. But first, you must fully align your energy. Ants live in underground communities. They build in the hidden. And what is that, if not a reflection of true spirituality? Real faith is not built on stages. True faith is forged in secrecy, in the inner world, in the invisible, just like the ant. Have you ever wondered why so many great spiritual leaders spent long seasons in silence, in the desert, in caves, on mountaintops? Because preparation happens in the unseen. It's in the silence that the spiritual warrior is formed, and you are being formed right now. The ants in your home are a living reminder of that even when it seems like nothing is happening, when the world thinks you're still, heaven is preparing you, training you, raising you up. But be careful. Be careful not to ignore the sign and allow opposing forces to take advantage of it. Because where there are ants, there are also spirits alert to your calling. The spiritual world moves around those who carry a purpose, and the closer you get to your destiny, the more resistance you'll face. The good news? The ant also symbolizes the victory of the small over the great, the triumph of persistence over impatience, of humility over arrogance. How many times have you felt small, insignificant, overlooked? How many times have they mocked your faith, your way of seeing signs, your spiritual sensitivity? But now, everything is changing. You've been awakened. And now, even the smallest details reveal great truths to you. The ant doesn't come with noise. It comes with purpose. It comes to remind you that God is building something in you brick by brick, inch by inch. And this construction will be solid. It will be lasting. It will be glorious. The only question is, are you listening? Are you paying attention? Or are you reacting like the ordinary, killing the sign, dismissing the warning, ignoring the alert? Chosen one, you were not made to live on the surface. Your purpose is underground, deep, invisible to human eyes. But soon, what has been hidden will be revealed. The house where the ants walk is being spiritually reorganized. Prepare the environment, anoint the rooms, pray with intensity, give thanks for the signs, and say out loud, I receive the teaching. I am ready to build. I understand what heaven is telling me. Because when the chosen one understands the sign, the waiting season ends, and the harvest season begins. Now pay very close attention, because what you're about to hear may explain things happening in your life that, until today, you've never understood. The appearance of ants inside your house may be more than a sign. It may be a warning, an urgent message from the spiritual realm. Ants, in their essence, are messengers, but like every sign from above, they also carry discernment. And when they show up at specific moments, in repetitive patterns, in exaggerated numbers, it's because they are exposing something hidden that needs to be broken. How many times have you felt a heaviness inside your own home? A sense of unexplained fatigue, frequent arguments between family members, sudden pains, insomnia, or an unshakable anxiety. You try to fix things in the physical realm, but spiritually, everything still feels messy. You clean the furniture, yet it still feels like something invisible is draining your energy. And then, the ants appear as eyes of the spirit, as sentinels of the astral plane. And here comes the revelation. When they appear in excess, they're not just symbolizing work or effort, they're revealing a breach, a spiritual infiltration, an unauthorized presence. Yes, there are homes where ants do not represent blessings, but attacks, envy, the evil eye, spells cast, dark energy that entered through open doors, negative words, spiritual contamination from close people, charged objects, destructive thoughts. The ant appears to expose that your spiritual environment has been invaded. It doesn't enter by chance. It's drawn to vibrations, to frequencies, to invisible disturbances that you may feel, but not understand. You may be getting visited by dense energies in your most vulnerable moments, at night, when you wake up, when you're alone, and your home, as a sacred temple, begins to show symptoms. The ants are the symptoms. Do you know why this is happening to you? Because you are chosen. And the chosen, when they're not aligned, become prime targets for darkness. You carry light. You carry a calling. And the spiritual enemy will do everything in its power to contaminate your foundation. Because destroying the home of a chosen one is a way to paralyze the mission they carry. But here's the powerful truth. Nothing that is revealed can control you anymore. From the moment the sign is exposed, from the moment the presence of the ant is understood, the cycle begins to break. That's why this video reached you. That's why you're hearing this now. Because it's time to act, to restore the spiritual balance of your home, to place every corner of your house under divine authority. Start with the details. Pray in the areas where they appear the most. Use consecrated oil. Read Psalms. Declare that your home belongs to the light. And above all, guard what you say, think, and feel within that sacred space. The ants also come to test your spiritual posture. Will you react like a fool, thinking they're just insects? Or will you understand that in the spiritual world, nothing is too small to carry a powerful revelation? There are forces around you watching every decision you make. You're in an invisible battlefield, but you're not alone. The presence of the ants is also a reminder. Angels are at work too. The battle is underway, and your victory is near. So don't complain, don't be afraid, just understand. Ants in your house may be the final warning before a great deliverance. If they're bothering you, perhaps what's really bothering you isn't the insect itself, but the spiritual energy they came to expose. It's time for purification, for prayer, for rebuilding, and more. The greater the number of ants, the greater the magnitude of what's being prepared. The enemy doesn't attack where there's nothing, and if your home is under attack, it's because the promise hovering over you is massive. You may be facing resistance, but that's just further proof that what's coming will be supernatural. Hear this well. Every disturbance is the rehearsal for a miracle. Every spiritual battle is the beginning of deliverance. Every uncomfortable presence is a push toward total consecration. The ants are a push, so that you snap out of distraction, so that you take hold of the authority you carry, so that you rise and declare, "In my home, only light dwells. In my home, only what comes from God is allowed. In my home, the Holy Spirit is the one who reigns." And just as they came, they will leave, because the mission will be completed. The message has been delivered, and the warrior has awakened. Stop everything now. Silence everything around you. Close your eyes for a moment, because what you're about to hear may be the confirmation you've been waiting for. Yes, God can speak through the voice of a prophet, through a dream, through the word, but he also speaks in the details, in the subtlety of creation. And when ants enter your home, sometimes heaven is saying, "You are ready. Now is the time." It may seem strange, even absurd, to those who live superficially, but the chosen see what ordinary eyes cannot. And you're not here because you are ordinary. There are people who pray asking for signs. They cry out for answers. They weep for direction. And yet ignore the small messengers that heaven itself sends to confirm the time of change. And God, in his infinite wisdom, chooses the unlikely. He sends the ant, simple, small, almost invisible, but carrying a spiritual code. It's time to act. You have been prepared. The struggles, the losses, the delays, the betrayals, the silences, all of it was part of a greater plan. It was not punishment, it was empowerment. And the ant, crossing the threshold of your home, shows you that what was beneath is coming to light. What was built in secret will now be revealed. What you thought was lost was only being nurtured. Just as the ant digs beneath the earth, unseen by anyone. You have been digging too, without applause, without recognition, without reward. But now God is telling you, prepare yourself, the time of harvest has begun. Perhaps you see these ants on the days you thought about giving up the most, on the days you questioned if you were on the right path, on the days you felt your faith weakening, and then, almost imperceptibly, they appear, small, but in a line, organized, working silently, confirming that what you're doing has purpose, that your journey is not in vain. Because ants do not appear where there are no seeds, they are drawn to what has been planted. And if they are showing up, it's because something in you has started to bloom. You may not see it yet, but the spiritual world already smells the promise approaching. You prayed, You waited. You fought. Now it's time to act, but beware. This action is not running in desperation. It's not making rash decisions. It's acting with wisdom, with strategy, with vision. Like the ant. Small steps with great intentions. Discreet movements, but guided by God. You've felt a restlessness inside, haven't you? As if something is calling you out of your comfort zone. As if a new cycle is knocking at the door. And the presence of these ants only confirms it's now. Your preparation was long because your mission is great. You were not created for crumbs. You were not called to live limited. What's coming will impact many lives. And that's why heaven sent the ants to remind you of the essence. Humility, constant work, unshakable faith, spiritual organization. It's time to cleanse the environment, to align the house, not just furniture in place, but your heart in order, your mind aligned with what God is about to do. The ants show you that heaven moves in details, and if He entrusted you with this message, it's because you are ready to carry what's coming. Have you noticed how, after intense moments of prayer, these ants disappear, or how they dissipate after you perform a spiritual cleansing? They fulfill their mission and depart. Because the sign was delivered, the preparation was activated, and now it's your time to rise, but with wisdom, with courage, with the certainty that the waiting time is over. Listen closely. Many will not understand. They will mock. They will doubt. But you were not chosen to be understood. You were chosen to manifest what the world has yet to see. And every small presence of these creatures is a silent confirmation that the heavens are moving in your favor. You are a work being finished. And when everything is ready, everyone will see. Everyone will recognize. Everyone will understand that what was happening in the invisible was only the beginning of a visible glory. Don't run from this. Don't hide. Don't try to rationalize what your spirit has already shown you clearly. Because when God sends signs, He expects a response. And the presence of these ants in your house is no longer a mystery to you. It is a summons, a divine call, a revealed code. Proof that the spiritual realm is trying to wake you up before it's too late. You've spent too much time ignoring the symptoms, too much time pretending everything is fine, too much time tolerating the invisible sabotage within you. Now it's over. This video is not just content, it's a turning point. It's the moment you choose to awaken or remain a slave to the forces that hold you back. You stand before a portal, and spiritual portals don't stay open forever. The waiting time is over. Now is the time to act. The ants came as messengers, but if you don't act now, they will become judges. Because a sign given and ignored turns into consequences. How many more times will the invisible world try to speak to you? How many warnings do you still need to understand this is about you? Yes? Stop running from the responsibility that comes with the call. You are chosen, and the chosen do not have the right to sleep while the spiritual world cries out for movement. Look around. Does everything seem to be falling apart? Problems multiplying? A constant feeling of heaviness? That is heaven trying to force you to react. And now you know why. The ants have invaded your space to show you that something is growing inside you. Something that needs to be activated. Something that will completely change your life if you have the courage to take the next step. You felt this video was different. You know this wasn't a random click. It was a scheduled meeting. a divine code calling you to war. And now comes the most important part. If this message has pierced your spirit, if you felt the call, if any part of you trembled inside as you listened, write the number 11 in the comments right now. This number is a spiritual seal, a silent declaration that echoes in the invisible. I receive. I understand. I am ready. It's not just a number. It's a battle cry. It's your spirit saying, I am awake. I saw. I know who I am. Now listen closely, like this video immediately. Because when you align the digital world with the spiritual world. You activate the algorithm, but you also activate the heavens. You're saying, this is true. This is mine. This belongs to me. Share urgently. There are people near you about to collapse spiritually because they haven't yet received the warning. Send this video. Spread this word. Be the messenger now. You've been warned. Now you are responsible for warning others. And don't leave without subscribing, because if you were touched by this message, then you belong to this spiritual community. And the next videos will bring even deeper codes, revelations that will keep unlocking you. Turn on the notification bell. Don't leave it to chance. Receive every new word like drinking straight from the source. I repeat, like, comment ons, share, and subscribe. Because if you ignore this, the next cycle may not find you anymore. The spiritual world is in motion. You're at the center of it. And now you know, even the ant was used by God to remind you that you are not just anyone. You are the answer. You are the channel. You are the light. You are chosen.